Now let's end the party off the right way here. We have this last problem, and it says in the question, determine the volume of concentrated cider used in the recipe. So just like we saw in yesterday's class with a very similar question, everybody, when it comes to this problem, the word volume doesn't mean we're doing length times width times height, or does it mean that we're talking about an amount? Yeah, in this case, we're talking about an amount. When we say determine the volume of concentrated cider, we're just trying to figure out the amount of cider that we used in the recipe. So the volume of concentrated cider is just the amount of cider that we used in the recipe. So that's what we want. The amount of concentrated cider. That's what we want. Now, when we read the information, this is going to get us our setup. And then you'll quickly see that this problem is really just about making sure you move your decimals appropriately. So here in a renowned chef's signature beverage recipe, 42%. So notice, this here doesn't matter. I don't care about that. It says 42% of a 1,250 milliliter drink is concentrated apple cider extract. Again, let's write that down. 42% of the 1,250 milliliter drink equals the concentrated apple cider. So I'm just going to write cider to keep it short. But my party people, take a look here. Don't we see how wow, this is actually straight up set up as the percent times the original equals the result, and that result is what we're looking for. Are we starting to see how straightforward this can feel? Right on. It looks like we're going to be very ready when we get into that next class for percent taxes and discounts. So here we go. 42% turns into 0.42 of multiply 1250 is our answer, and let's get it done. So we'll write 1250 multiplied by 0.42. And so I'll use green on the first line, purple on the second line, and let's get it done. So 0 times 2, 5 times 2 is 10, carry the 1. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, carry the 1 is 5. And then 1 times 2 is 2. All right, cool. Up next, let's go ahead and use purple. And we're going to start off with a blank 0 here to start off in the right place. 4 times 0 is 0. 5 times 4 is 20. Carry the 2. 2 times 4 is 8. Carry the 2 is 10. Carry the 1. And then 1 times 4 is 4. Carry the 1 is 5. And so there we go. We have ourselves 0, 0, 5, 2, and then 5. And how many decimals are we bringing back at the end? Yeah, just bringing back 2 at the end. This is very easy to get wrong because notice that we have 3 very similar answers here, but we're just bringing back 2 decimal places here in the end. Again, 1, 2, 1, 2. 525 milliliters is the amount of apple cider extract. And there we are. Answer choice A is the correct answer, and we are done, my party people. So again, I'm really hoping that we feel really good about this because the next class is all about taxes and discounts. So that way we can bring it all together and take things to the next level and guarantee that we know what we'll be doing front and back on test day. All right, so up next we have which expression is equivalent to x plus 7 multiplied by x plus 10. And again, I said multiply because when we don't have an operator clearly shown between 2 parentheses or 2 groups, that is multiplication, everybody. In the same way that if, let's say, we had a 7 in front of an x, that's multiplication, even though we don't explicitly see a multiplication operator between 7 and x. So same idea, everybody. So now let's go ahead and take care of business. Because we have a binomial in x plus 7 multiplied by another binomial in x plus 10. Now pay attention to that word again. A binomial, meaning we have 2 terms inside of the parentheses. By meaning to. So here's the general rule. You can use your tricks and tips like FOIL, FOIL, but the general rule is the same thing. And it's make sure that everything from one parentheses multiplies with everything from the other. So we have x multiplied by x, which would be x times x or x squared. Then you also make sure that the same x multiplies with 10. And so x times 10, that'll be 10x. Now we've successfully completed distributing this x with both terms over here. So we're done with this x. Now we're going to move forward and multiply the 7 with those same two terms. 7 times the x that we already multiplied by is 7x. Then after that, we have 7 multiplied by the 10. And 7 times 10, that's going to be 70. Just like that. So from here, my party people, what do we notice? Well, we're done distributing. And so all that we have left are these individual terms, 4 of them, all being added together. And so now we're going to turn our attention over to these like terms. We have over here 10x and 7x. Those are like terms because we have the same variables and we have the same exponents, both of them being a 1. So when we combine like terms, everybody, be careful. Don't confuse this with multiplication. When we're combining like terms, we're adding or subtracting, whichever one it is, but it's addition and subtraction. We are saying, hey, we have 10 of these x's, and we're adding 7 more of those x's. You could say boxes. Hey, I have 10 boxes and 7 boxes added together, and that's going to be 17 boxes. Just like that. Multiplication is different. Multiplication has its own rule where we multiply the values, the coefficients in front, and multiply the variables together. So we add those exponents in that case. This is different. Our final answer is going to be x squared plus 17x plus 70. And so the correct answer is going to be answer choice C.